What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're here with another Garp challenge video, and of course we're going to be showcasing the brand new Sugo Fest exclusive versus Kaido and Big Mom. Now in this video we're only going to be looking at the versus Kaido side of things, and I'll be uploading videos with Big Mom a little bit later on, but honestly, just from playing around with these two characters, Kaido always just seems to be the most fun unit. He is ridiculously good, as you guys are going to be seeing in this video today. But this is the team that we're running with. Obviously, Kaido captain, double Kaido leads. Now, we do have page 1 support attached to him, which means anytime we're inflicted with attack down, it gets removed by 2 turns. And you'll see why we have that a little bit later on in the fight, but it's definitely not required. It just means that if you are going to be using this team, then you do need to stall a little bit more. We have Vivi Rebecca, who's going to be a phenomenal unit to getting rid of those defensive effects. Great switch effect, of course, amazing special. Roger attached just for stats. We've got Marco and Ace Kizuna unit. We do have Akainu attached to him, but honestly, the Akainu isn't really required, as you guys are going to see in this video today. And then seemingly going on with the Buggy, the Stampede Buggy, we have him to get rid of the Fear debuff and special bind on the Enel stage. And we do have the Doflamingo support attached to him, so it means whenever we launch his special, we get an orb boost for our driven characters, but honestly, it doesn't make a big difference if we have that or not. And then we have Trafalgar Law, the Strength Trafalgar Law, which came out with Super Type Snake Man with the Corazon support attached to him, which obviously removes 2 turns of bind, despair, or paralysis anytime we're inflicted with it for the first time. That's ridiculously useful to have. This Law is actually a phenomenal character for this team. And as for the ship, we're using the Victoria Punk, which is a ship that I haven't used too often, but if your captain is Strength or Dex, we get a 1.65 boost if we have a Tandem, Bomb, Super Bomb, or Wano slot. So very, very good for this team because we have Kaido, who is a Strength captain. And even if we don't have one of those slots, we get 1.55 times attack, and then also a special ability to remove barriers, which actually is very useful for one of these fights, as you see in this video. But anyways, that's the breakdown of the team. Let's go ahead and talk more about versus Kaido versus all 4 of these Garp challenges. So let's jump into this Garp challenge content, right? So we're here with the Doflamingo Garp challenge. Of course, there's going to be a timeline. You can click on the video, and also there will be timestamps in the bottom of the description to go ahead and click to see whichever clip you want to see with Kaido clearing each of these Garp challenges. So first thing is first, of course, we're with the Doflamingo challenge. Now, one thing about Kaido that's fantastic for these Garp challenges is obviously the new versus mechanic. Being able to just do mass amounts of wave clear is immensely powerful. And one of the really cool things about it, and it actually works really well with Kaido, is the fact that, you know, at the end of every turn, you're cutting all enemies' health by 10%. Like, that's great, right? So you have double Kaido, 10% health cut, then a 10% health cut. Then if you have the versus effect active, what's going to happen is it then does 500 times his attack in typeless damage to all enemies. It does that, and then it activates the last effect, which is whichever enemy has the highest HP, he does 3 times the amount of damage he dealt with his normal attacks to the highest enemy with HP. And so it goes health cut, wave clear, and then the massive hit to a single enemy. So it's pretty freaking crazy, some of the stuff that you can do just with the versus effect active. Even if you don't have like any other boost on your team, just having that Kaido versus effect active is so crazy. I've already started playing around with Big Mom just to compare the two, and I've definitely found that Kaido is way more impressive. Definitely for the short form content and the easier content, Kaido is like ridiculously impressive. I haven't had too much opportunity to play around with Big Mom yet, but Big Mom is a lot different, and her playstyle is significantly different compared to what Kaido aims to do anyways. But with this Garp challenge, we do have to do a little bit of stall because we do want to ensure that we're able to use Law special once again. And the ship special of the Victoria Punk comes in quite clutch against Bato because he does have a 2-turn barrier. We can remove one of it with the ship special, which is great. And we can kill off Bato quite easily from there. We do have Marco and Ace on the team just to give us an attack boost, and you know, we do have the Akainu support to give us a full board of orbs, but we don't actually like need it in a lot of the content for these 10-star difficulty Garp challenges, which is actually kind of funny. But either way, it's still very impressive to see how well Kaido can just blast through this content, because having a flat 5 times captain, yeah, that's kind of good, right? Because there's no character in the game currently on Global that's a flat 5 times all the time. You know, you do have to have certain conditions active, whether it be a certain matching slot, or you need to hit, you know, a certain amount of perfects, you know, or anything like that. You have to kill something in the previous turn. Like, Kaido and Big Mom are not like that. They're just always 5 times, no matter what happens previous or following what they do. It's always a 5 times boost, and you have access to differing effects from there. Obviously, their special ability is kind of the same. You get an attack boost turn 1 or boost turn 2, which we definitely use to our advantage in these clips you guys are going to see today, where we can use, you know, a special ability on one stage and carry an orb boost into the next stage. We've got Marco and Ace's switch effect, which give themselves a strength slot, but any quick orb we have on our team, which is considered non-beneficial, we change that into matching with their switch effect. Such an amazing unit for these strength Garp challenges. And as you see, the versus effect of Kaido coming in super clutch versus those mob characters there. Final boss stage is an absolute joke against Doflamingo. So we'll pick things up once we reach the Revolutionary Army. So the next boss is going to be versus the Revolutionary Army, and this was definitely the easiest of the 4 dungeons that you guys are going to see in this video today, and it's mainly just because there just aren't as many gimmicks that you have to take into consideration for this fight. We do have the lore support attached to, well, it's actually the Corazon support attached to lore, and it means that the first hit of bind that's inflicted to our team, we can just remove it. We've got Vivi Rebecca to get rid of the defense here against Kuma. Kuma doesn't have that much health, and I mean, with a flat 5 times boost, that's really not going to be a problem at all, so that's ridiculous, right? And then, you know, whenever we get inflicted with that 2 turns of bind, initially, you know, we don't have to use a special to get rid of it. We just got a support that gets rid of it for us. And everything from there on out is just, you know, really good normal attacks. And, you know, even if we don't kill something in one turn, they get hit with 2 10% health cuts at the end of that turn as well, which helps us significantly with getting through that stage on the following turn. You know, after one turn of 2 health cuts against them, you know, obviously these bosses don't have crazy amounts, you know, they don't have like 5 million HP on a mini boss stage, but, you know, even if they got like 2 or 3 million, right, if you're doing 2 10% health cuts right after that, and then you can do your normal attacks, and remember, you got a 5 times base boost, we're pretty much going to kill everything in at least 2 turns, unless if there's a really annoying gimmick that you have to get around. And yeah, Kaido just absolutely decimates these bosses, which is so satisfying, and especially having the switch effect of Vivi and Rebecca every single turn to get us the 2.5 chain lock and get us some health back. The only real problem that I did find whilst using versus Kaido is there were some instances where I really wanted to launch the special. I think in one of these clips I wanted to use, I think it was against Enel, I wanted to use his versus effect a little bit earlier than I wanted to, but unfortunately I wasn't able to consume the 10 tandem or recovery slots before reaching that point. So that is a little bit of a downside, is that you do have to consume 10 tandem or recovery slots to activate their versus effect, which for Kaido is definitely going to be a bit of a problem because he does aim to clear content as fast as possible. Whereas for Big Mom, it's probably not as big of a problem because, you know, she has more health because she has a higher multiply for her health. And the way that she's built is like she tries to recover a lot more health from the enemy. So she actually can go ahead and tank some hits, recover some more back. And as she's recovering, of course, she's getting her gauge up for her versus effect. So that's nice, right? That's just the little comparison that I found between these two characters. Is that for Kaido, because he clears that stuff so fast, it can be a bit tricky sometimes to get those tandem and recovery slots, but either way, it's still not that big of a problem considering you're able to kill stuff even without having the versus effect active with his end of turn health cut and the 5 times multiplier and everything added on top of that. But I'll leave you guys with the rest of this clip here as, you know, we get given these block orbs here. And remember, with Kaido's special ability, he changes block orbs into tandem. So with that active, we got an attack boost, we hit our perfects, we get the orb boost in the following turn, and then it's just over. It's GG. So I'll leave you guys with the Revolutionary Army, and we'll pick things up at the Whitebeard Challenge. So now we're going to take a look at the Whitebeard challenge. Now, this one was a little bit obscure, and this is why we had page 1 support, because knowing Kaido and the way that he's built, he likes to clear content fast. We've already established that. So I was scared with stage 2, because if I use Buggy to get rid of the attack down, I was a little bit scared that I wasn't going to have his special up when we needed it. So instead of just doing that, I ran page 1 to get rid of 2 turns of attack down. Then we just stall 1 turn, so the attack down is gone, and then we can just kill Curiel. And after those health cuts, and we got the switch effect of Vivi Rebecca, that's absolutely no problem whatsoever. Also, with this stage here, sometimes you can actually stall on Atmos if you've got enough recovery bind. With this team, we don't have enough recovery bind. I'm pretty sure I checked and I don't have enough. So we do kill Atmos, and we do kill Haruta as well in turn 1, and we actually get really close to killing off Rakuyo as well. It was very, very close. So just goes to show, like, with this type of multiplier just active all the time, it's kind of ridiculous, man. And I actually really liked having Vivi Rebecca on this team, because sometimes, you know, when you're running the strength team, you know, obviously versing quick enemies can be a bit of a problem, but being able to switch into Vivi means that you get that type advantage against them. The 2.5 chain lock obviously helps with that as well. And remember, Kaido's captain effect doesn't only boost strength, it boosts in characters, and it also boosts dex characters. So Vivi Rebecca is like a perfect unit for this team, being able to get through those quick enemies so much easier. Definitely a really powerful unit to bring. And with the amount of damage we have on this team, we pretty much would have been able to kill this stage in 1 turn. But of course, being able to just stall a bit, trying to make sure that I was able to get enough tandem and recovery slots is what I was trying to get, just so if I needed to activate the versus effect a little earlier, I could do that. But either way, looking back at it, we probably didn't need to stall at all. But we have the Vivi special, of course, against Jozu to get rid of those defensive effects, and we can switch into Vivi to give us the 2.5 chain lock. We have the color affinity boost. I believe I also use a Kaido special as well, just to give us the attack boost, just to ensure that we're going to have enough damage against them. But with that active, we move on to the following stage. We can use Buggy then to remove all of those debuffs. And remember, Stampede Buggy's really good for this fight. Well, just not really for this fight, but just in general for Kaido versus Big Mom, because Kaido is a driven character, and Buggy's special gives you great utility, and he says that if your captain is driven, he changes all slots into matching through block orbs, right? So that's fantastic. You can use him to get a full board of slots, as well as getting rid of debuffs, which is great, and obviously very, very niche and very required for versus Enel to get rid of the fear debuff, and also getting rid of that special bind, of course. And of course, in the final stage, you know, with the versus effect active, it's just over, because the normal attacks only we obviously will get rid of, because we do take our time against Marco and Vista. And when we have the versus effect active on the final stage, that's basically all we need. I mean, we can activate all of our other specials. We've got Kaido special, we've got the Marco Ace special if we need it to kill in 1 turn, but you guys will see how that all plays out, of course. The Law special is kind of redundant for this particular fight, but it's just nice to have, of course, for the other variations of the Garp challenges. But that is going to conclude the Whitebeard challenge with the versus Kaido unit, and we'll pick things up with the final clip of the video, which is going to be versus the Enel Garp challenge. So now we get to talk about the Enel Garp challenge. Now, the big thing about Enel is stage 2 can actually be a bit troublesome because you get 3 of your crewmates will be binded for 4 turns. Luckily, we do have Corazon support attached to Lord, which will automatically remove all the bind off of our characters, which means that we get our full crew ready to go versus this stage. And this was great because we do actually get a full board of matching slots. We have the VV to do super effective damage against the quick enemy, and with all of these effects active, we actually are able to kill this stage in 1 turn, which typically is quite difficult to do. So this is great. Absolutely wicked that we're able to do that. So versus Kaido, man, has been super impressive, and I think this is probably going to be my consistent mono strength team for clearing Garp challenges from here on out. I know Douglas Bullet and Sweet Commanders and Odin and Super Type Snake Man are all valid options to do it as well, but I just had way too much fun using this unit and probably will be my go-to strength team for these Garp challenges moving forward until something else comes out in the future. This stage is also kind of annoying because of the barrier and the fact that you're burnt, so you can't really do much. But after you break the barrier, at the end of that turn, you get 2 health cuts there, which is nice. It enables them to reduce the health just a little bit more, and if you do get quite a few matching slots on the turn after, you actually are able to kill at the end of that turn there, which is great. So we actually don't take too much damage on this stage at all. And then we move on to the stage versus Wiper and his 2 subordinate characters. Those guys are kind of annoying. I kind of screwed up though because I wanted to make sure that I could switch into VV for this stage. It would have been better if I was able to switch into VV to get the chain lock and also have the matching slot on the VV, but of course, I'm showing you guys this clip, so we still end up clearing the content, which is great. So I do switch into Rebecca here just to make sure we get that 2.5 chain lock, which will make killing these characters a lot easier, of course. And, you know, despite us not having that type advantage with VV, and we have the Rebecca against the strength enemy anyway, we actually still are able to kill both of these enemies in a single turn just because that health cut that we get at the end of that turn really helped us there for sure. If we didn't have that, we would be taking damage from Wiper, and I don't know if we'd be able to survive that. It'd be very close, but either way, we have VV now, so then we can use the rest of our characters' attacks to take down Wiper. And this was the situation here where I really wanted to use the Versus effect on this upcoming stage, on stage 5, but unfortunately, it's not quite ready. I legit needed to consume 1 more tandem or recovery slot in order for it to be active. If I did have that active, I would have been able to clear this entire stage in 1 turn, but that obviously didn't happen, so we did have to take multiple turns. We do get inflicted with attack down from this enemy here, this side enemy, because we don't actually kill him, but that's not that big of a problem because we do have the page 1 support, which will get rid of the attack down, so it gets rid of 2 of the 4 turns. So by the time we kill this stage, we will not have attack down active anymore. But basically, you know, once it's all said and done, we reach the final stage. We're going to have Buggy special for a full board of slots. We're going to have Marco and Ace to get rid of the stun, of course, and also give us a full board of slots as well. Even though Buggy already does that, we get an attack boost. We have orb boost active. Like, it's complete overkill. Any character that can carry a buff into that final stage against Enel is going to be very useful, right? And we're able to do that definitely with the Kaido special and also the the Kaido special specifically, because that gives us the orb boost into the next room, 2.5 orb boost for our whole team, which is ridiculously good. I do have the Doflamingo support attached to Buggy, but of course, as you guys have seen, it's basically a redundant support effect, and the Akainu doesn't really help us out that much either for when we need to use it. So the Akainu and the Doflamingo support on both Ace and Marco, and then the Buggy, respectively, do not need to be on the team. But that's going to wrap up this video today. I sincerely hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
Straight tail man.